crafty friends, what is up? Today I have a bit of a fun video to share with you. So my friend Jessica at Colorcast Designs, today is release day and she is releasing her Document December collection, and I think she's calling it December Memories. Don't quote me, but it's her December collection. And so I have a few of the pieces, and I asked her, I was like, can I do like a sort of video where I would share a story spark or a way I would use these in my actual album? And she was 100% on board. So today I'm going to share how I would use the wood veneer ornaments and the numbers on a spread. Now, I'm just gonna be upfront, there isn't a story involved, because I don't have a story to tell yet, but I thought I would show you how I plan on using these in my album. So the first thing I want to talk about is Jessica's wood veneer. So if you're new to Colorcast Designs wood veneer, Jess's wood veneer is my favorite wood veneer on the market. One, because they're super fine. They're like super thin. So you can put them in a notebook style album and you don't have to worry about adding too much bulk. And also because they take to altering like a dream. And that is part of the reason why they're my favorites, because I can do a million things to them. Because I don't know what wood veneer she uses, but it's not treated. So you can literally do a million things to them. And one of my favorite things to do to her wood veneer is to blend Distress Oxides over them. So I'm going to share with you today some of my favorite holiday blends. So for this one, we're going from Tattered Rose into Festive Berries. So there we go. So my brush, I'm using the Altenew blending brushes, and what I like to do when I do a blend is go in first with the lighter color and then go in with the second color and then go back and forth until you get a blend. So that's what Tattered Rose looks like blended into Festive Berries, and we're just gonna fly through these color combinations. What I did to pick these was I looked in my stash of colors, which to be fair, it's not really a stash because I have the entire Oxide line. But I looked into my color range and I was like, what feels holiday to me? And that's what I went with. So that's what Tattered Rose looks like blended into Festive Berries. We're gonna fly through these, or you're gonna be watching me blending inks all day. So one of my favorite combinations, which is a little bit understated, but it's one of my favorites, is Bundled Sage blended into Mowed Lawn. So there we go. We're just gonna put some Bundled Sage down on top and we're gonna go. Now, there was a little bit of red here. So guys, just be a little bit neater than I am. I am a little bit messy when it comes to this stuff. So between colors, what I'm gonna have to do is just go and clean my brushes and clean my mat so that we'll get through this. So that's Bundled Sage. Just gonna quickly spin this around, grab a brush I haven't used yet, and then pop some Mowed Lawn. Where's my bell? You can't even see that. There's the bell. And then pop some Mowed Lawn. And I just have a little bit of purple tape on my fingers just to keep my fingerprints off the wood veneer. So there we go. That's Mowed Lawn. Gonna go back in with a little bit more bundled. That is the wrong color. Oh, I'm doing this all wrong. Go back in with a little bit more Bundled Sage. I grabbed the wrong color. The good thing about the Oxides is you can layer them. But also, real life is me mixing up my colors all the time. So there we go. That's Bundled Sage into Mowed Lawn. Just gonna quickly go over the place where they meet. And I think that is a super pretty green bell. So I'm gonna quickly clean my brushes, put these colors away so I don't make any mess, and I'll be back for the next color combo. So my next color combo is a little bit different from the ones that I've already used, and you're probably like, oh my god, Tashi, that's brown, what's going on? But Crackling Campfire blended into brown is actually really pretty. So I'm just scrubbing off some of the extra color off of my ink blending tools, and then after I'm done with this project, I will go in and give them a nice deep wash. But we're gonna go in with Crackling Campfire and Frayed Burlap. I'm looking for the one that's the least offensive right now. These are the Altenew blending tools, and I am such a fan of these. So we're gonna go with Frayed Burlap. which is brown. It is the only brown I own out of the entire Distress line because I just don't like browns. So yeah, this is the only brown I own. We're gonna move it out of that puddle of brown so I don't like muddy this. And we're gonna go in with Crackling Campfire. And Crackling Campfire is the newest Distress Oxide color, and it is just, it's just so pretty. It's just such a pretty color. It's just, oh, Crackling Campfire is like, it's, when it came out, I was like, I don't need another orange. And then I actually saw it and I was like, you're wrong, I need another orange. Okay, so there we go. That's what Frayed Burlap looks like, blended into Crackling Campfire. It's just a really pretty, a fiery like blend. Like it feels like it looks like sunrise to me. That's what I think of. So there we go. Those are my 3 ornaments so far. I'm gonna pop in and color one more and I'll be right back. The last color combination is Speckled Egg and Iced Spruce. And Iced Spruce is a really green shade, a really blue shade of green, sorry. So I thought it would look really good blended into Speckled Egg, just because they have very similar tones, only Speckled Egg is just a classic blue, there's no green in it. And Iced Spruce has a lot of blue in that green, so there we go, let's see. Okay, yep, that looks really pretty. They're very similar in tone, so you can like build them up, but they are different. Like, I think they're different enough that it's obvious, and they blend really nicely. Okay, so that's Speckled Egg, and if I could hold on to it, that's Speckled Egg and Iced Spruce blended into each other. So I'm gonna put my inks away, pop my brushes back into, also, this is a really cool thing about these Altenew brush holders, is that I can just pop them into here, and it gets them off my, oh, that's where it is. Gets them off my desk so they're not making a mess before I go clean them. Because that's the other problem I was having, is my ink brushes would just make a hot mess and get everywhere before I was ready to clean up, and then they would just be a disaster. All right, so I'm gonna get this off my desk, clean all my work surfaces after we finish making. But let me show you the photo I have. So I have this photo of my Christmas tree from last year that I did one of my favorite things to do, which is print and enlargement. So this is 8.25 by 13.5, and I cut it down the middle. And my idea, which is what the first thing I thought of when I saw these, was one, to put the 25 directly on it. Now I am going to attach everything to this page with repositionable adhesive, because this isn't a full story that I'm telling. Like, I don't have a story. This is an older photo, but just giving you some story sparks. And I also cut 4 strips of cardstock into 1.5 inch wide strips of paper, because what I was thinking and what I might do when it's time for me to document this is I was going to make a list of things that were bringing me joy. So I could do this on day 5. On day 5, one of my favorite things to do, and what I do every year, is I document 5 things that I'm thankful for. So, and I always do it like a list style. I tend to not write as many, like I write a lot of words in my albums, but on day 5, I tend to not include as many words because I'm just making a list. So that would be the perfect style of project for a page like this, where I don't want to have huge areas for journaling, just little lists. Also, you can use this to put photos on. So you can print really small photos of things in your life. Like if you decided to do, oh, this would also be a really good page to do like who's in your family right now. So you could print like, these are 2 inches wide, I think. These are 2 inches wide. So you could do like a 2x3 photo of the people in your family, stick them down, and then have them pull out. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some pullouts, and we're gonna use the ornaments. The end game is to use the ornaments as our pulling mechanisms. So I'm going to let my ornaments dry, because the oxides do take a few minutes to dry, and I don't want to hit them with my heat tool. I have other things that I could be doing besides drying things, like cutting slits into my photo. So I do need an X-Acto knife. So I have an X-Acto knife. And I do need my cutting mat, which I thought I took out, but I guess I didn't. So I'm gonna go grab my cutting mat. Okay, so I'm back. I have my cutting mat, and I realized that I didn't do my strips right, so I'm doing them over. So my strips are 2x4, and I'm scoring them each at the 1 inch mark, and that is what I forgot to do the first time. I had this whole thing workshopped, and then I started cutting stuff, and I realized that I cut my strips to the wrong size. So quickly fix that, because I said they were 2 inches, and they weren't actually 2 inches. They were a different size. So with these being 2 inches, for this thing to work, because 2 inches is bigger than the size of our little ornaments, you just have to take your snips and go in and narrow these out a little bit. We just don't want too much paper sticking out beside our ornament. So I'm just showing you how to do one, and then I'm gonna go in and do the other ones off camera. So this video isn't like 18 hours long, but there we go. So I'm just making a little tab so that my ornament has a place to sit and it's not too wide. So I'm gonna go ahead again, cut the rest of these up, and then we will start assembling, and I'll start cutting slits, and I'll show you how this page comes together. But again, 2 inches wide is a perfect size to hold a photo, to hold some journaling, and you can do them wider than 2 inches. You just have to make sure that the little ledge that you're leaving to hold, well, never mind, I just ended up cutting all of these. But you just want to make sure that the little ledge that you're leaving is not wider, like not much wider than what you're using as your anchor, because then it's going to show and then it's not going to be as nice as it could be. All right. So I have my 2-inch squares. So what we're going to do now is decide where our ornaments are going to go. And this is why I wanted a picture of the tree, because it looks like the ornaments are hanging from the tree branches. So do I want to put this? Yep. So I'm going to put this blue one on this side, and then I'll put this last pink one on this side, and then there is the 25. Oh, that's so pretty already. There we go. Okay, so here's where I think they're going to go. So now I just have to flip them in and cut slits. And for cutting the slits, I use my X-Acto knife and a ruler. Now this is the scary part for me, at least. So the slits do have to be 2 inches wide, because your photo pieces that are coming out are going to be the 2 inches wide. So I'm just going to take a pen and draw 2-inch wide lines, which I will not film because that will just take forever. So I'm just going to go in and draw some 2-inch wide lines. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am cutting away, and a few thoughts as you're cutting your slits. One, be careful, obviously, because you are working with very sharp instruments. But a few thoughts. So your slits do have to be wider than the paper that you're trying to slide in. So if you're trying to use a 2-inch wide, a 2-inch wide tag, I recommend that your slits be 2.5 inches wide, just so it can easily slide in and out. Also, another thing to be aware of is that your slits do have to make sure, you have to make sure that there's enough room for your papers to hit the bottom edge. So don't make your slits so, like, this is the lowest possible level that my tags can go in, because I need to make sure that once the tag goes in like this, there is clearance at the bottom so that I can adhere this to something else. So here is what my 3 tags look like once they're in the page. Let's just get that third one in. So that's what the 3 tags are going to look like. And then when the ornaments go on top of them, there'll be an ornament here, there'll be an ornament here, and there'll be an ornament here. Okay, so I just have to do the other one, which I will not come back for. I'm going to cut that last one in, and then we will work on assembling and embellishing. And again, I am doing everything with repositionable adhesive, so I could take this all apart. So if it does seem a little wonky in the long run, it is not because the design doesn't work. It's just because I'm not using tape designed to last. Repositionable adhesive is not really designed to last the long haul. It's designed to be repositioned. So if things flub a little bit, that's just all it is. It's that I'm using repositionable adhesive. So I'm going to go cut this last lid in, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm assembling my little pullouts, and I figured out that I cannot use repositionable adhesive because Jess's ornaments do have the wax paper on the back. So what I'm doing is just gluing the wax paper down to my little pullouts, because when it's time for me to use it, I can just pull off the release paper and it works. But I do have to stick them down with a block on top of them so they hold. So that's why you see a million acrylic blocks on my desk. On the bright side, I have a million acrylic blocks. So that's what we're doing. All right. So let's just work on assembling this piece now. So we have all the hard stuff done. We've cut all of our slits. We're going to start putting this whole jazz together. So the way it works is you're just going to put this in like this, and then So that it slides in, right? And your ornament sits on the outside. And it looks like your ornament is just hanging out on the tree. Isn't that fun? I think that's fun. I mean, you guys might not agree, but I think that's really fun. All right, so it looks like your ornament is just hanging out on the tree. So there we go. We're gonna slide all these in. Oh Lord, that one came off. I really thought it was gonna hold. All right, well, I'm gonna stick it down again because I need it to hold so I can eventually take the pictures. So we're gonna stick it down again, and hopefully it will just behave long enough for me to take the pictures after this. All right. So that's what they're gonna look like. And I actually don't like that green one there because it's at the same level with the pink one. So I'm gonna put, and that's the beautiful thing about all these paper pieces being the same size, is you can just fill it with your ornaments until they're in places that make you happy. So I'm gonna put this blue one up top because I made this one a little bit too close to the top of the page, and the blue one is probably the best fitting ornament that's going to not fall off my paper. There we go. That blue one fits perfectly up there. Just gonna put that block back on it. And put this orange one, where was the other one? Put this orange one here. Okay. Let's put that there. So that's what they look like on the page, right? And I think that looks really fun. And then your 25 is gonna go right here. I'm not gonna stick that down yet because I do wanna show you how you finish the back of this so that this mechanism works the way it's supposed to. So let's pull that up a little bit. I have a little bit more space on my desk now. I didn't have as much space before, but I have a little bit more space right now. And again, you can finish this page however you want to with whatever other embellishments you want to. If you want to poke some star brads, I think that actually, do I have star brads? Because that might be really fun too, to poke a few holes and put some star brads in. Let's see if I have some star brads. I did. I stocked up on star brads this year. Okay, so that will be something fun. So we're going to add a few star brads just on the tree to add some sparkle and shine, also to kind of repeat the illusion of this being, you know, a decorated Christmas tree. So I pulled out 5 because I like odd numbers. And there are 4 ornaments on this tree, and it is killing me that there are only 4 ornaments on this tree, but I didn't think I could fit a 5th one on the tree and still have room for my numbers. So that's why there's only 4 ornaments on the tree, even though it is killing me that there are only 4. All right, so let's flip this around. So here's how you would finish this page. And I'm not gonna do all of them because it's gonna cost me a lot of foam tape, and I do not want to waste the foam tape. But here's how you finish a page like this. So once that just will not stick no matter what I do. All of the other ones stick and this one just won't stick. Stay down. All right. So once you're back here, right? So you wanna make sure that this is centered. So let's first make sure that this piece, all right, never mind. That's not sticking. We'll have to figure out something else for the pictures, but I am too bent on saving this to stick it down. Please just stay long enough for me to take the pictures. All right, so once this is centered back here, you wanna make sure this is centered. And then you're gonna take good old foam tape, which I probably should have had out. Okay, so we're gonna grab some foam tape. I do have another roll of foam tape coming my way because I go through this stuff like mad. But we're gonna make a pocket for our journaling card because you need to have somewhere, like we need to make sure that there's a track for this to move. So we're gonna put some foam on the side of it, on the other side of it, and then on the bottom. Also, note to self, see, I'm like revising this as I go. When you do this, make sure you leave yourself room to punch the holes because I didn't leave myself any room to punch holes. So we're revising this as we go. These are all the things you have to think about when you're working on a project like this. Give yourself room to punch holes. The other thing you could do is you could attach this to something and punch holes in the other page, but I just put this a little too close to the edge and now I can't punch holes in this page, which again, I'm not heartbroken about because this is not actually going in an album. I'm just giving you the tools for putting this in an album if you decide to make a page like this. So here we go. That's what that looks like. And then you would just have to fill in the rest of the page with foam. Now you can get sheets of craft foam so you don't have to use your foam tape. I like to do this particular part with the foam tape because then I can make sure that my pocket is perfectly fit, is a perfect size for this particular element. And then you can fill in the rest with foam tape. Now this side, since there are so many, I would just do foam tape for the whole page. And again, that might seem like a lot for someone to do, but December daily is my jam. So I am doing all the things the whole month, and it doesn't bother me that my projects take me like 45 minutes to just do one page, because this is just my passion project. And you don't have to do all three. Maybe you just want to put one ornament on the tree that's a pull out, and then have the rest of the ornaments just be fixed elements. But I thought it'd be fun to have all the ornaments be pull out elements. So again, I'm not gonna put like foam tape on this because one, I'm running low, and two, that would just take forever. So there we go. So that's what this would look like. And then that's what the back side looks like. So after you fill this up with foam tape, you would put a sheet of paper. You can use copy paper. You don't need to put anything too thick, but you would put a sheet of paper over this so that your foam is adhered to something and you've made little pockets for your ornaments. All of these are sticking except this pink one. This pink one is just rowdy. All of them are sticking except this pink one, which makes me really sad. We're gonna try this again. This is literally just watching me fight with a single ornament for like an hour. Stick. All right. So now that we have all of our ornaments done, we're just gonna go ahead and adhere our acrylic piece. And like I said, I'm using repositionable adhesive because I will quickly be breaking this page apart after the video is over and I take all the photos to save this piece for my own stash. But here we go. So this is how you can put ornaments on a Christmas tree, have them be pull-out elements. So there we go. So we can do that. And then I think a little chipboard banner down here would be really fun. So I'm gonna go grab my December chipboard stash. I just wanna make sure that that too is straight, and it is. Perfect. Now, repositionable adhesive, obviously not the adhesive you should use for something like this. I feel like that goes without saying, but just in case, repositionable adhesive is not the adhesive you should use. I like red line tape for sticking down acrylic bits like this. Red line tape is my personal favorite adhesive of choice. So now I would go in and stick my brads down. So obviously it's really important to have all the foam and stuff stuck down and let the brads be your last part, the last thing you do. But since I'm not putting foam, I just want to go in and add some brads. So where do I want to put the brads? I'm just going to go in and poke some holes with a craft pick and add some brads for some sparkle and shine, and also to, again, repeat the illusion that this is a tree that's dressed with ornaments. So we're gonna add a few star brads. Also, you better believe that the second this is done, I am taking these brads out because star brads are a really hard commodity to get a hold of. I had to go to Michael's 4 times to get star brads. And they're like my favorite thing to use in December. So we are definitely taking these out and putting them back in the package after we're done here. But yeah, so I popped a few star brads in. There you go. Look at how pretty that is. It just adds a little bit of sparkle to our page. And now all of these are gonna fall off. All right, well, we're almost done. So yeah, so I'm gonna go get a little bit of chipboard and I will be back when I have that chipboard piece down and I think this page is finished. Okay guys, so here's how I went and finished off the page. I dug in my chipboard stash and I found these little round circles that had numbers on them, which I thought was perfect for reinforcing the idea that these are 4 little stories that I'm telling with the pull-out elements. So I found some numbers. They were actually pretty close to the colors that I chose, so I stuck them down to my tree photo next to the numbers. I added a little bit of chipboard that said currently making life worth loving, and this is a story spark. This is a page I would put in my album, and then I would have the journaling pull out of these tabs, and this is how I would document a story. So I hope this inspired you to make something interactive for your albums. Look at embellishments as not just embellishments, but as also story sparks. And to make something fun this month. So don't forget that Jessica's releases are now available if you decide you want these acrylic numbers or these ornaments or any of the other things she has on sale this month. I think the release this time around is just gorgeous and I cannot wait for you to see the rest of them. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments of this page and if you're going to be giving something like this a try. And until next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day, and I'll see you around. Bye!